Welcome to Wakizashi's Tea House. Gray's Pick and Mix. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see, it feels. This is Gray from Wakizashi's Tea House over in Japan. I hope you're good. I hope you're Genki. How's it been going? I'll tell you, I've been wanting to do this show for a couple of weeks, but family intervened, so I've been kind of busy with that. Haven't been able to do live streams. Yeah, it was great actually. Really good summer. How was your summer? Are you surviving the heat? It's been insane in Japan, I tell you. Absolutely boiling. We're expecting temperatures in the high 90s again for this week. Even hit 100 not long ago with the humidity on top of that. But anyway, this is not a show about the weather, is it? So let's see. Anybody out there in the chat? I'm not sure. I can't see anybody apart from. We've got Wakizashi's Tea House, Gunslinger Spawn, Master of Kung Fu, and Usagi Yojimbo. These are exclusive emojis. If you join my channel, you can use those in the chat. And yeah, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I feel like the Truman Show. Anyone seeing that? Oh, good. The Stream Elements bot is running. That's good to see. Now, for some reason, my Wi-Fi is looking really low at the moment. I don't know why. Let's see what's going on. Make sure I'm coming through. For some reason, my Wi-Fi is looking really low at the moment. I don't know why. Oh no, it is. It's gone really low. Okay, anyway. Hey Mick, how are you? Just let me know if I'm turning into a robot. I don't know what's going on. I think it could be the crazy weather. But yeah, the signal is not strong. Good to see you. So this is going to be a short comic show today because I've got the aircon on, but I've had to shut the doors to keep the background noise low. Mrs. Wakizashi had to run upstairs. I think she's got the aircon up there to survive. But yeah, what I want to do is give a quick rundown of the comics from last week that I either reviewed, or if I didn't have time to review, I will recommend. We'll talk about what's coming out this week. Now, just to let you know, there's an exclusive early release already out. I was lucky enough to finish early today from work, so I got the finale to The Riddler Year 1, which is issue 6. That came out today. Of course, in Japan, we're in the future, so I can get digital issues bought pretty early. I got a review done. It's got about 7 views. No one seems interested, but I know it's kind of early morning in the States, which is where most of my views come from. But do check that out when you get a chance. It's no spoilers here, but yeah, it is the final issue, written by Paul Dano, who played the Riddler in the Batman movie, and it has got some sumptuous art by Stevan Subic. So yeah, I do recommend that. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's either Stevan or Steven. It could be Steven Subic. Okay, so that's already out. Okay, thanks Mick. That's good to hear. The sound is okay. Now let's see if we can share screen. I'm worried now. If I share screen, is it all going to go bizarre? Because it often does with StreamYard. Because StreamYard eats your computer memory, in case you didn't know. So, new comics from last week. There we go. Yeah, it's looking a bit weird, but yeah, we'll see how we do. I managed to get 3 reviews done last week. As I say, I wasn't able to do live streams because my daughter was back. This is not a studio. This is the kind of living cum dining cum kitchen in Japan, the small house I live in. So all live streams had to be put on temporary hiatus. What can you do? Can't be helped. Hey, what's more important, family or talking nonsense about comics? You tell me. So last week I did get out reviews of The Amazing Spider-Man issue 32. That's one of my reviews that got the most dislikes I've had for a while. Good to see that. And I also reviewed, where is it? King Spawn, issue 25, that came out. And the big one for me from last week, and the one that's doing well regarding YouTube, Big Game issue 2 came out. That's right, Big Game. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mark Miller, Pepe Larraz, absolutely awesome, completely bonkers. It's a bloodbath, it's crazy, but it's so much fun to read and so nice to be excited about comics again. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that is a huge recommend. If you've not seen those videos, do check those out. I try to keep them spoiler free as much as possible. But from last week, what else came out that was any good? There wasn't much, to be honest. It was a really quiet week. I have heard good things about issue 1 of The Immortal Thor. Let's just have a quick click on there. Here we go. Have you read The Immortal Hulk run by Al Ewing? Because he is writing The Immortal Thor. It says, in Norse myths, they called him Thunderer, not Thunder Thighs. Vur I can't even read. Vur has he been called, and Hlorridi, the gods know him as Asgard's king, keeper of Mjolnir, hero of the tales. When injustice grips the earth and ancient powers bring down the sky, he fights for those who cannot. And when the tale is done, we will know what that cost him. This is the story of the Immortal Thor. There we go. Now, I didn't actually read it. I saw some of the preview pages. The art looks really good. I read a bit of an interview with Al Ewing, who's obviously a really big fan, and he was talking about, well, the thing that stuck out from the interview to me was he wants to have Thor smiling again, and I think he's taking him back to the classic costume, or definitely designs on the classic costume. So we'll see. Do let me know if you've seen that or if you've read it and what you thought about it. But from looking on reviews on Comic Book Roundup, League of Comic Book Geeks, it seemed to have been received really well. Let's have a look. Here it's like 384 people out of 396 liked it. It got an average of 4.4 out of 5 rating. Very good. If we scroll down for a couple of reviews, let's have a quick look. The first ones that pop up. So as you can see, yeah, 4.5 stars, 5. Insane first issue, believe the hype, says his reviewer. Wow. I can't see a bad review yet. Just let me scroll down a little bit more. Bear with me. Yeah, it's all 4s and 5s. Interesting. Just that caught my eye there. A fairly queer book. I loved Loki and I'm already waiting for their redemption. Okay, there we go. There's one 3-star here. It's the first one. I think I set myself up for disappointment with this, says this reviewer. I absolutely adored Immortal Hulk and have it pegged as one of my favourite big 2 runs of all time. Wow. Okay, sounds like he's talking about Immortal Hulk more than Thor, but maybe a little bit disappointing. How about you out there in the chat? Are you interested in Immortal Thor? Do you like the character? Okay, let's get back. Just keep checking the signal so it looks all right. Go back. Boom. So we had, what else was there? The final issue of Dark Knights of Steel came out, Tom Taylor. Now, I was listening to Jim from Weird Science Comics, listening to his review with, I'm not sure who was doing that with him. Oh, was it Gabe, wasn't it? It was Gabe Hernandez from Comical Opinions. Very good review site, by the way. It's a blogging review site, Comical Opinions, and he also writes reviews for Weird Science DC and Weird Science Marvel Comics. That's Gabe Hernandez. Jim is the man behind the videos and the podcasts. So yeah, they were saying it was okay. It was a pretty good finale, but I haven't been reading it, so I don't know. And just let me do a couple of more before I move on. Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue 5 came out. Now, again, I've heard mixed things. Some people saying it's really good. It's the best out of Denny Culver's run, although that's not saying much. I know that's a bit mean, but I was not impressed at all. The first issue was okay, but it felt like he was writing a series of incidents rather than a story. There was there was a real lack of plot. They just working on like a bit of character background stories, and yeah, just they had them going to different parts of the DC universe and trying to be stopped by different people. So it just the same thing seemed to be happening over and over again. And I've got like at the moment I'm doing a reread of the classic Grant Morrison Doom Patrol run. Back in the days of 1988-89 it started, issue 19 that was. Yeah, the difference is staggering, I tell you. No matter how much criticism or flack Grant Morrison gets for his weirdness, back in those days, he could really, really write not only characters, compelling stories, and he had a really good sense of humour. I'm sure he still does, but, back when he was young and hungry, really, really recommend that run. Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison. Okay, there was one Night Terrors that I read, and it was decent. It was this one, Night Terrors Detective Comics. Issue 2 of 2, because that's all they are. Now, this was written by Dan Waters, and I've liked his work in the past. He's been pretty good. And it's got art by, is it Mike? No, not Mike Perkins, sorry. Riccardo Federici, and the art is excellent. I wish I still had access to the preview copy, but I don't, unfortunately. I want to show you some of the pages from inside, but check out this cover. This gives you an idea, the style of art. It's really, really cool. Almost looks like kind of pencil crayon style. But yeah, do recommend that. Okay, let's go back to the main page. So that was it. Let me see who's here. Hey Casey, how are you? Hope you're good. Walt Simonson's Thor one has always been your favourite. I say, okay, yeah, I always hear great things about that. I've not read enough Thor to be able to comment, but I think I do have the first collection of that somewhere. Lost in time and space, if you know what I mean. And good morning to Zombie Main. I think it's good morning where you are, mate. Just woke up, it's 8:10, saw you live. How are we doing today? We're doing well, we're doing good. It's good to be back, doing a little bit of streaming because it's been a while. Just catching up on the last week's comics. So, let's have a look at what's coming out. Where are we? This week. Dun, 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 dun. Now, this August, yeah, this is a 5-week comic book release month, so you often don't get much coming out the final week. They usually bring out annuals or specials. So let us have a look and see what's going on. There we go. Okay, new comics this week. So the week starting, well, it's the 29th today, Tuesday, but officially Comic Book Day is Wednesday, the 30th of August, 2023. As you can see, the very first title is an annual. Now, these are in order of the amount of people who want, who've supposedly virtually pulled this issue. Moon Knight Annual 1, $4.99, that's due out. Now, what I'm looking for is the next one here on the list, Wolverine issue 36. I don't normally read the series, but it's been this Weapons of Vengeance mini kind of story involving Wolverine and Ghost Rider, and I tell you what, I've been having a great time with it. It's a really good kind of dark horror story with two dark characters with Ghost Rider and Wolverine, and bringing them together. They're fighting some kind of dangerous mutant threat. We're not really sure what it is yet, but it is really good to see it, and it showed a bit of the the old days, the going back in time a little bit, seeing the classic Wolverine with his yellow costume. Let's have a quick click on this. As I say, I haven't been reading the main series. I've dipped in and out of Ghost Rider. Now it's written by Benjamin Percy, and it's been good from what I've seen. But Wolverine, I just tried one issue and I wasn't really, not really a big fan. But for some reason, this works with them together. As I say, Weapons of Vengeance Part 3. All it says here in the synopsis is, Logan and Johnny Blaze's battle has taken a serious turn. Enter the Hellverine. There we go. So that's $3.99. That's out on Wednesday. 28 pages. Benjamin Percy writing and Jeff Shaw on art. I've been enjoying Jeff Shaw's art on that. It's got a really good classic kind of dark horror look to it. So yeah, do look out for that if you've got any interest in those characters. Okay, anybody else? Let's see. Let's go back to the main comics. Goodness gracious, what am I doing? I have no idea. Ultimate Invasion issue 3, if you're following that, is out. The Incredible Hulk issue 3. That's a new kind of darker horror-based take on the Hulk yet again by the sound of it. It gave me kind of Hellboy vibes last issue. It's been pretty good. Philip Kennedy Johnson's writing that. From DC, the first one we see is Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, issue 5, which I'm not reading. And as I mentioned earlier, The Riddler, year 1, issue 6, the finale. So as I said, I do recommend that. If you've been following it, you want to get the last issue, don't you? But not amazing, but not too bad. And the art by Subic is really good, really worth seeing. The good news is that the Night Terrors Night's End is out, so that's the end of the Night Terrors non-event. God knows what it was. Just a mess of an event by the sound of it. I heard some ridiculous number, like there's over 40 different issues if you've been buying everything in that. You've had this main Night Terrors story, which is a 4-parter plus a kind of alpha and an omega issue, so it's 6 parts. and you've got different DC characters doing two-part stories, which some are related to the main story and some aren't. You know, people have been doing their own thing with it. So very disappointing by the sound of it. Okay, let's scroll down to line 2. We get the first one by Image, which is Monstrous, issue 47. I haven't been reading that. It got really, really hyped back in the day. I remember Neil Gaiman, no comment about him these days, Neil Gaiman raving about it, which got me to pick up the first volume, and sorry, wasn't impressed. Nice art though. And also, the next DC one here is the Batman Catwoman, the Gotham War mini event, as far as I know, kicks off. That's $5.99 though, so no, you're all right. I'm not touching that. I was reading Batman. It's written by Chip Zdarsky and Teenie Howard. So you got the writer of Batman and the writer of Catwoman combining their, their skills. And yeah, going for it. But I don't know, does it look interesting to you? Let's click on the cover and see. Got a lot of pink on this cover here, look at that. The Batcat War starts here. Crime is down in Gotham City. Could that be a bad thing? A coordinated effort in Gotham has led to a reduction in violent crime, but at what cost? Villains scatter as their lives begin to crumble under a new regime, and as Batman recovers from his epic battle through the multiverse and the horrors of night terrors, yawn, one name runs through his mind. Alfred! No, sorry, it's not. One name at the heart of this new safer Gotham is Catwoman. A conflict that's been brewing for well over a year finally hits the streets, and it will fracture the Bat family as war erupts. It's like, oh, what a surprise. Gotham's having a war again, you know. Is it like the 31st war this year? Anyway, please forgive my sarcasm and, whatever. From best-selling writers Chip Zdarsky and Teenie Howard. Artists Mike Hawthorne and Adriano Di Benedetto. There we go. That's out tomorrow. Anyone going to be picking that up? Sorry, that was really fast, wasn't it? Anybody going to be picking that up? Oh, AMG, how are you doing, man? Good morning. Good morning to the States. Good afternoon to Europe and good evening to Japan. Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping in. We need more events, don't we? I know, right? There just aren't enough of them. Ah, dear me. Let's have a look how many variant covers just for a laugh. Main cover plus 1, 2, blank 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. That's where the money is these days, folks. It's in the variant covers. There are rumours that variant covers are keeping DC and Marvel going at the moment. But anyway, you could call me cynical. Wow. No good morning to Canada. Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't know you were in Canada. That's awesome. Hail Canada. I tell you what, I enjoyed the first issue of Alpha Flight. It's only going to be a mini, but I recommend that if you didn't see it. It was pretty good. But again, I don't know the characters. I did review it last week. Canada's most famous hero team, is that right? I'm not sure. So yeah, that's it. Another one that caught my eye, which I won't be picking up, but I had to call attention to. Here we go. Miss Marvel, the New Mutant issue 1. That's right. Nobody stays dead for long in the Marvel Universe. She's got her own series. It's being launched on Wednesday. It's going to be $4.99. I think it's an oversized opening issue. Let me click on it for a sec and I will tell you that the big news is it's been co-written by the star of the huge success that was the Disney Plus series, Miss Marvel. Again, my live streams do contain like liberal, sorry, is that right? Even a word? Liberal shakings of sarcasm. Iman Vellani, there she is, if you can see. It's a very small picture. So she is supposedly co-writing it with the writer Sabir Prezada, who has done work on the Miss Marvel TV show, as well as the Moon Knight TV show. 2 shows I wholeheartedly don't recommend. Sorry, folks, if you like them. I thought they were awful. Actually, Miss Marvel, from what I saw, wasn't even that bad. It just, it wasn't. I wasn't the audience. It's probably okay for a YA, easy kind of Saturday morning show. But yeah, that's coming out on Wednesday. Please let me know in the chat if you'll be buying that. I'd love to know. Let's get back to those new comics. That's the word indeed, MG. Yikes is the word. And I don't think I made it through episode 2 of Moon Knight. I know I gave up after, I think it was partway through episode 3, when I realised that they made, just making Mark Spector a complete buffoon, his way to play it as a complete idiot. Never mind his British accent. But saying that, they should hear my American accent, or Canadian. Non-existent, mate. Okay, let's get back to the comics. Now, one that might be worth taking a chance on, especially if you like the character, because I heard good things about issue 1, is Blade. Issue 2 drops on Wednesday. And I've got a confession. I did actually see a sneak preview of this issue. And something amazing happened in a comic book, especially a Marvel comic book, even a DC comic book these days. It had a quite sexy opening. It was well written. It was kind of titillating. It was good. It was a bit, a little bit raunchy. I was like, what's going on? What am I reading here? This can't be a Marvel comic. Opening pages were, I just say, I really enjoyed them. Nice art as well. I like the writing. It's by, is it Brian Hill, or he's got like a 3-name name? Brian Edward Hill, is that right? Let me just click on it and have a look. Just says Brian Hill here, and the artist is Elena Casagrande. I tell you, just give that a pick up if you've got any interest, because again, I didn't actually read issue 1, but I need to go back and pick that up because it got good reviews from people I respect, and I like the art style from what I saw in issue 2. Yeah, it looks fun. It looks good. It's a little bit sexy. Bring sex back to comics. Well, sexiness maybe. I know what you're thinking. One track mind. Just an old perv, that's all. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Blade's greatest hope rests with the last person he wants to ask, a hostile ex. Oh my goodness. Blade travels to Japan to meet with a high-end supernatural arms dealer who may be the key to defeating the Adana, the deadly threat Blade has inadvertently unleashed upon the world. But first, he'll have to protect the arms dealer from the underground that wants her head. Not the most exciting synopsis, but Japan certainly catches my eye. Who else is in that? It doesn't say, it's just mainly Blade. Okay, there we go. So yeah, might be worth a look. But again, I could be reaching here, guys and girls. And great to see. Adega Outlaw, thanks for popping in, mate. I really appreciate it. MG saying that I'd heard Blade was good, but it's so hard to spend money on Marvel or DC. I understand exactly, mate. Too many good indies coming out. It is a great time to be reading indie comics. Yes, I agree. Okay. Any more that catch your eyes? The Scorched issue 21 comes out. Still $2.99 for those. Actually, let's see if Sean Lewis is on that, because I got a bit of a shock with my review of issue 25 of King Spawn last week. It was Todd McFarlane as the main writer, not just, additional plot by Todd McFarlane. He's writing it now. I wasn't sure if it's just for one issue, so I checked the next few issues, and no, he seems to be the solo writer for the next few anyway. Now, it's interesting that it's 24 issues exactly that Sean Lewis did, so maybe that was his contract. Maybe he wanted 1 or 2 years, and he's moving on, because I know he's doing creator-owned work as well. But let's have a quick look. Scorched, issue 21. There we go. It says Sean Lewis here. Not clear on the cover. And art, as always, by Steven Segovia. So yeah, I know MG will be picking that up as far as I can guess. The Scorched are still trying to come to terms with the fact that Monolith is now on the team. Will his brutality become an asset or a hindrance? Oh, nice cover, by the way. Yeah, looking good. Look at that. And the variant cover is... Oh, that's gorgeous. That's a Matina variant. Okay, very nice. There we go. Let me check in with you. Sean Lewis is still listed on the next couple of issues of Scorched. I asked if he was going to continue on, but didn't get an answer. Yeah, I was the same in MG. I nearly reached out, but I thought, hey, first of all, who am I? Nobody. But I felt maybe, he didn't want to talk about it, or it's often not a good idea to even ask creators. Although, saying that, I've heard the opposite thing from some good friends who do a lot of comic book reviews. They've said that quite a lot of writers are very open to being messaged or to talking about what's going on. So yeah, I guess it depends who you message and who they are, doesn't it, really? But yeah, kind of like asking someone, hey mate, I noticed your name wasn't on the latest issue. Did you decide to move on? It's maybe not the best thing to talk about. So yeah, there we go. Come on, Graham, what are you going on about? Before I stop talking, just two more to mention. Shout out to, first of all, Conan the Barbarian, issue 2 drops on Wednesday, drops tomorrow, $3.99. I've actually seen a preview of this. I've read most of it, and I've got to say, it's very, very good. Good news, it's very good. At the beginning, I wasn't quite sure. The first few pages, I was like, okay, it doesn't seem quite as exciting or as even as well drawn. The art didn't seem to be catching my eye as much as the first issue, but kept reading and it got better and better and it got really good. So yeah, that is a definite pick up from me, a definite recommend. The other one was just because it looked interesting, Doomsday Special issue 1, but it's $5.99. I won't be buying it, but I'm just shouting it out in case you're interested. It's rare to see. Action Comics presents a Doomsday Special, again because it's a 5-week month, well, a 5 comic book week month, so they're throwing that out. Now actually, who is writing that? Let's have a quick look. I wonder if it's just one or if it's a series. Oh, that's interesting. It's Dan Watters. As I was talking earlier, I really enjoyed that mini Detective Comics Night Terrors he did. It was probably the best one I've read out of the ones I read, so that could be worth a look. Eddie Barrows on pencils. Is it Eber Ferreira on inks? No way, it's got a pencil and an inker. Unbelievable, that's very rare these days. Should we just do a quick read of the synopsis? Yeah? Okay, Doomsday rules in hell. It's a creature beyond reason, and the only force in the universe strong enough to kill Superman. There we go. It's Doomsday, the living embodiment of death, destruction, and evolution. In the wake of Dark Crisis and Lazarus Planet, King Doomsday now sits on a throne of skulls across a river of blood, holding court over the demons that swarm in the depths of hell. Wow. He may have just found a way back to the land of the living. It's now up to Supergirl and Martian Manhunter to drive the beast back and see that he never again returns to our earthly plane, even if they must die to do so. Plus the return of Bloodwind, the debut of the Doomhounds, and a clue to the next big Superman event. That sounds pretty good, actually. Tempting if it wasn't for the price tag, $5.99. It does say 48 pages, but that usually means about 38, 39. Could be 40 if you're lucky. Yeah, what do you think? Look at those variant covers, good grief. Just quick, there's a Puppeteer Lee one. Let me just click on that briefly. Puppeteer Lee with a variant cover. Could be amazing. Not bad, not bad. What do you think? Let's get back to you guys and girls in the chat. I messaged the EIC, but I didn't try Sean. Okay, fair enough, mate, yeah. MG saying, Conan, Transformers and G.I. Joe, good times. It is good times. And Puppeteer Lee has a Doomsday Special. That's one, just talking about, look at that cover. It sounds good. I would say Dan Watters is worth a look. Definitely worth a look. Okay, let's stop sharing that. Where are we? Get back to... So as I say, I'm going to keep this pretty short this week. I don't want to keep Mrs. Wakizashi out of the air-conditioned room. Anything else? Any news? That's the question. News this week. Well, nothing really sticking out. The usual stuff been going on Twitter. I heard some kind of crazy rumours about Spider-Man, the Spider-Man comic, and if you picked up or if you heard about what happened at the end of last issue, I'll just say that the policy of keeping Peter miserable, is continuing by Zeb Wells and, of course, editor Nick Lowe. Not only is it enough to keep him miserable, I think they are planning to turn him evil by the looks of things, by what happened. Without spoiling it, I won't say, but yeah, let's just say it involves Kraven, Queen Goblin, Norman Osborn, and yeah, Peter Parker Spider-Man. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's something crazy about that. Whoa, really, really. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it because it's just, what do you call it? It's just rumors. There we go, as we say. So that was it, basically. Not the most exciting week of comics, but yeah, do look out for Conan. By the way, speaking of Conan, this is probably a little bit naughty, but hey, you know, no one really sees these streams, so do you want to have a quick look at the opening couple of pages of the issue? Got a preview copy, but it does have like Titan Comics stamped across it, so you know, not the clearest view, but again, no spoilers. Let me know in the chat if you want to see. There we go. Just checking out my stream page. Hilarious. And by the way, I really appreciate you guys watching. Hey, Griffin is here. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for dropping in. That's cool. MG, Adega, if you're still there. It was good to see Zombie Main earlier. Casey, Charlie Chats, and Mick Cope. Thank you so much. Hey, Magitek Mags. Long time no see. Listening while driving to work. Okay, great to hear from you. I really appreciate the comment. And again, thank you so much for being a member. You know how much that means. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you. Okay, there's been no no's in the chat, so I'll give you a really brief peep at Conan issue 2. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Again, no spoilers, just the opening couple of pages. But that art in that first issue by Roberto de la Torre, absolutely fire it was. Let's see if it'll work even. Okay, it's not showing to share at the moment. What I've got to do is go back there, click on that. Now let's try that again. Good old StreamYard. I love you so much. Here we go, it's showing this time. Are you ready? Here we go. Don't kill me for this. Let's make it full screen. This is cover A by Alan Quah, by the look of it. Q-U-A-H, Alan Quah. And I'm just going to scroll through a couple of ads at the beginning there. Here we go. Bound in Blackstone, Part 2. I don't know, there's just something about it. Maybe it was even the lettering or the title there. It just looked a bit rushed. It looked a bit simple, but we're catching up with Conan of Cimmeria, of course, and Brissa of the Gurian tribe. They're hiding there, watching what happened at the end of last issue. From the covered shadows of the forest, they grimly watch their quarry. Do you like that Alan Quah cover, MG? Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? Okay, I'll just show you a couple of pages. So, have a look at the art. It's looking good again by I think I've got his name right. Do let me know. I think it's Del Torre, but yeah, love that first issue. We've got the outpost known as Horner's Rome is now a burned out battlefield. The smell of smoking ash and singed flesh fills the air. The settlement, which stood strong less than a day ago, is now beset by soldiers, unlike any Conan has seen before. That's it, that's all I read from. But yeah, looking good, looking visceral, looking violent, bloody, a little bit sexy as well, this issue. Good to see. And what do you guys think of the colouring as well? I do like this style. It's kind of a muted, interesting colouring. Of course, it doesn't look as good on the digital. I'd love to have a physical copy. But yeah, let's go back and see who's actually colouring that. Back to the title page. It is, excuse me for looking weird, leaning, Dean White on colours. And yeah, Roberto de la Torre on the art. Jim Zub-Brighton, of course. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Can't wait to read it. Okay, let's get back to the stream. Here we go. How do I do that? Stop streaming. That's it. Oh, you do like the colouring, do you? Yeah, me too. That old school feel is really good to see. So, as I was saying, I apologise for keeping it short this week, but I'm going to wrap things up now. I like to keep this short anyway. It's a nice little bite size you can listen to easily, as you say, driving to work, or you know, it's not too long to catch up if you miss it. Anyone watching this on the replay, I do really appreciate it. And speaking of Conan, if you saw in the background, it's very small, but where are we? That issue number 1 from last month, Titan Comics, it inspired me to dig up this. It's the Coming of Conan the Cimmerian. It's the first collection. Really good. Robert E. Howard. This is the Del Rey trade paperback, and it has the first few stories, of course. Last night I read, where are we? The Frost Giant's Daughter. Absolutely awesome. It's only a few pages long, but really recommend it. Look at this. Look at this art here. Bit of black and white art inside. Slowly focus, let the camera focus on that. Let me just double check who is the artist. Can't see it written here, but you might know. Off the top of my head, the memory is saying Mike Schultz, but I need to double check that now. But yeah, the art in this is gorgeous. Really nice black and white. If it's not Mike, it's Mark. Okay, that's it. Mark Schultz. And this is back in 2002. He wrote the foreword to this. As I say, I'm looking forward to The Tower of the Elephant, which is a classic, if you don't know it. And what else? I mean, there's so many in here. Queen of the Black Coast is supposed to be good. Black Colossus. Just the titles alone are amazing, aren't they? Iron Shadows in the Moon. The Pool of the Black One. And The Vale of Lost Women. That's a place I'm always looking for when I'm out on the, on the town. Okay, thanks very much. You guys have a great, and girls have a great day. What day is it? Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday at work if you're working. If you're at home, have a nice rest. In Europe, in the UK, have a great rest of your day. And in Japan, have a good night's sleep, which is what I'll be doing soon. I hope to see you in a future video. And yeah, do drop a comment if you get a chance. That really helps with, those algorithmic things and all that. So before we go, let's drop a quick clip. What's it going to be? Something good for the early morning. So have a little bit, I always go to this, don't I? It's the Withnail humour. Here we go.
I must have some booze. I demand to have some booze. I wouldn't drink that if I was you. Why not?
Because I don't advise it. Even the wankers on the site wouldn't drink that. That's worse than meth.
Nonsense. This is a far superior drink to meths.
Good luck, good health. God bless you.